Okay, it looks like we're live. Hey guys, today I'm here to bring you my review slash reaction of Reign, Season 3, Episode 5. I'm just gonna go out and say this right now. This episode was fantastic. I loved this episode so much, and honestly, it's the best episode of season 3 so far. It's one of my favorites in the entire series. It is so good. Now, first of all, this is mainly focused on Bash, Delphine, a bit of Catherine and Nostradamus, and Mary and Francis. And honestly, I love Lola and Narcisse, I like Greer, I like all the English corps, I love Elizabeth, but honestly, I did not miss any of them in this episode. I mean, we did see also it focuses a lot on Nicholas, but anyways, we did see a little bit of Lola and Narcisse at the end, and a little bit of Greer, but honestly, I didn't miss any of them, and I'm glad they focused on the characters they did in this episode, because if they had cram-packed a lot more into this episode, I don't think it will be as great as it was. But yeah, obviously the thing I want to talk about most, I will be saving for last. First of all, okay, a couple episodes ago, I have to say, at first I rewatched episode 3, and I have to say, I actually started liking Frary. I know, coming from me, this is like, you're probably very happy. Though, of course, as soon as I actually start liking them, what happens, but I'll obviously talk about that more at the end. So yeah, I have to say I teared up a tiny bit at some of the Mary Francis scenes, so yeah, and also there's a lot of Bash in this episode, which I liked. I thought Bash's stuff this week was interesting. I thought Delphine's stuff was interesting. Also, thank God the whole binding ritual is over with. Thank God. But if there is one nitpick I have to have with this episode, it would be that Bash and Delphine are going to be a thing, and I feel like Bash needs to be single. He's boring when he's in a relationship. So hopefully the Bash-Delphine relationship ends soon. Also, Nicholas was really had a pretty big role in this episode, because Mary basically was signed away her rights to the English throne, and then after what happened, let's just say that it didn't stick. But yeah, Nicholas was really great in this episode. I really love the character of Nicholas, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in the future. We saw Catherine, which I liked Catherine in this episode. Like, since the beginning of the series, I've had a love-hate relationship with Catherine. I really liked her in this episode. And of course, Nostradamus was back in this episode. I missed him, but I have to say, guys, I really think we're not going to see Nostradamus from here on out. I think we're really done with Nostradamus as a character. I think because now that, well, I'm talking about it anyways, now that the prophecy has been fulfilled, I mean, what's the point to his character in this show anymore? So if we're done with Nostradamus, bye Nostradamus, I'll miss you, you were a good character. Yeah. And obviously the thing that was most important this episode, Francis died. Yeah, just, first of all, I knew he was gonna die because they spoiled it in the promos, but still, he died, and yeah, and I'll be honest with you guys, I did not weep or anything. I don't get that emotional. I mean, there are things I do get emotional for, like when I'm watching movies or TV shows or something, but for the most part, I usually only tear up a little, and I can't say that I teared up, but it doesn't mean I'm like cheering or anything that he's dead, I mean, even though Francis was never my favorite character, I have to say, I did start liking him a lot more in season 3. But anyways, Francis was still a big part of the show, and I have to say, he'll be missed. I'm gonna miss his character for a little while. I mean, I'm gonna move on. I can live without Frary and Francis, but his character will be missed, and Toby Redbow did a fair job at playing Francis. So, and yeah, hopefully he'll get some more roles in the future, you know? So yeah, Rip Francis, your character will be missed, and yeah. So basically, overall, I absolutely loved this episode. It is a 10 out of 10. It's flawless. I mean, I do have a couple nitpicks, but honestly, I'm not going to bring them up now because they're not important because, yeah, this episode was amazing. I loved it. And you know what? I feel like the Rain writers killed him off this early because they think season 3 is going to be the last season. They're just doing it, they're being cautious. So I can understand why, because they probably would have write out some of Mary's story after Francis, and even if it only lasts like 10, 12 episodes, I think that'll be good for them. So they can at least, just in case there's no season 4, at least wrap up the story a bit. So yeah, I understand why. But anyways, Rip Francis. Once again, and also once again, this episode is a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I really can't wait for next week's episode. Can't wait to see Elizabeth next week. Even though I didn't really miss her in this episode, I still look forward to seeing her in the next episode. And yeah, if you've seen Rain season 3, episode 5, In a Clearing, tell me your thoughts on it. And yeah, I'd love to know what you thought of this episode, and I will see you guys in my next review. Bye.